Time isn't stopping. Time's not giving a shit about our thoughts. It's not not giving a shit about how we feel about ourselves or the plans we're making. It's just doing what time does and going on. And it's our responsibility to do shit for us. And the more you look around, we're coming into 2025 now. Like this time, 1 month, it's going to be 2025. How many of us have said year after year that this year is going to be our year and then never done anything about it? Might have dipped their toes in by joining the gym or just turning a new diet or doing something like that, but we've never actually fully committed. And that's why 90% of us always fail the New Year's resolutions. And so I don't think a lot of people realise that the New Year's resolutions we make this year will probably be the same as last year, the same the year before that, same the year before that, same the year before that. And we're going to take the same approach as the year before that, the year before that, the year before that. And we're going to get the same results as the year before that, year before that, year before that. Because we're setting ourselves up for failure unconsciously. We're setting the barometer too high, or we don't believe we can achieve these things. And it's just word vomit now. Because the truth is, so many of us don't love ourselves, don't really care about ourselves. And we're people pleasers because if we can make others happy, it can give us a sense of happiness for a short period of time. And that can become addictive to our nervous system, to our chemical dopamine responses in the brain. Because for that fleeting moment, if we see someone else happy due to our efforts, it makes us feel good. And it's easier for us to do that than it is for us to look at ourselves and love ourselves. And that's a really sad state of affairs, isn't it? Because when you think about that as a collective, that's how we're all acting. That's how we're all feeling. So it's a collective energy that we're all experiencing. And the thing is, we can change our lives. Trust me, I'm living proof of this. It just takes a lot of work. It just takes a lot of acceptance that things aren't going to go the way you envision them to go. That this beautiful journey that you're just going to let go of the rowboat's oars and just let the stream take you, it's not going to happen that way. There are going to be moments where you're going to have to paddle upstream. You're going to have to fight against the current. Then you'll surrender. Then you'll fight against the current, then you'll surrender. And that's the journey. And when you can accept that as part of the journey, and these lessons and these fears that you've got are there for you to help you grow, it allows you to change your outlook. Do you know, like last night, I done a load of mushrooms and I done a ceremony. Actually, a crazy thing happened last night because he opened the space, called in the ancestors, called in the spirits, done the mushrooms, sat there with gongs in my head and everything, playing the gongs, listening to music, meditating, breath work. It was amazing. Didn't get much from the mushrooms, but I got a lot just from the process. I jumped out, I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I remembered I forgot to close the space, so I closed the space down and it all stopped. Spirits are real, regardless of what you want to say. It's a fucking insane experience. But yeah, that was an eye-opening. But I did get some things from the shrooms last night and, ended up having a full-on conversation with myself from another person's perspective, talking to someone else and give me some insights. But the vibrational work I got, the bowls, I sat there with a bowl in my head just hitting it for ages. And my God, just the level of tranquility and peace that I felt from doing that, it was unbelievable. And this is what I'm trying to tell people, so many people are angry at how they look, move and feel. They hate themselves, they don't love themselves at all, and they're pretending. So they're going to join a gym again, and they're going to beast their bodies again, and they're going to go on restrictive diets again, all in this hope that they're going to lose the 2 stone or 1 stone or 5 pounds or whatever it is that they're going to lose. That's going to make them feel better. It's going to get their life back on track. It's going to solve all their problems. Bull fucking shit. Didn't happen time before that, time before that, time before that, time before that, time before that. It's not going to happen now. And all you're doing is creating another opportunity to prove to yourself that you're not worthy. Because the gyms don't work, they just make you worse. For the majority of people, this is the truth. Because a lot of people, the majority of us, are not in the mind space to be able to commit to a training program for the length of time required to get the results you're after. We're wanting a short-term fix. This is why the 6-week transformations work so well, because everyone gets that quick fix, a few pounds off, get the photograph, get the validation from social media, get the praise from their friends, then the weight's creep back on. And we all know this is true. Everyone I'm speaking to knows that, or they know someone whose life journey has been gyms, losing weights, diets, putting the weight back on, hating themselves and starting the whole process again. At some point you have to start recognising that it's not going to be fixed through going to the gym. It's going to be fixed through going inside. It's going to be fixed through soothing the nervous system. It's going to be fixed through allowing yourself to sit with the emotions, to sit with the thoughts, and just to process them. And to do that requires time, requires effort, requires you to give yourself some space of just peace, quiet, and sitting with your own thoughts, observing them, not getting washed in them, but actually just observing them and asking yourself, is that true? Is it true that you're fat and ugly? Is it true that you're not worthy? Is it true that you're not loved? Is it true that you're not good enough? Because these are the thoughts that dictate the actions that result in you being overweight and unhappy with how you look, move and feel. And until you get to those root of those problems, it's never going to change. And we've got a pandemic of obesity. And the obesity is the byproduct of how we feel about ourselves. And the social media gives us the chance. Good morning. Social media gives us the chance to just lie, to just tell ourselves a story that suits the narrative of the society we live in. It's all energy. And you've got to raise your vibrational frequency. And that's going to take some commitment, because I'm telling you, I've noticed this, there's a common theme among the people who succeed. They take action. And that's it. Good morning. It's a lovely day, isn't it? It's the only people that get the results are the people who do the work, take action to change, accept responsibility for their life. Because we're victim stories. I don't like even the word victim. See, the word victim, it's a negative energy. You're just having an experience and you're having a current thought process. You're thinking the way you've always thought. And you've got to find a way of allowing yourself to think differently. And you do that by becoming the observer of your thoughts, not the feeler of the thoughts. You can feel into the emotions when you see them, and you can sit and wallow in them and allow them to wash over you, but you've also got to come out of that and see it from that third person perspective. You know, you're not the one thinking for yourself. There's something else thinking. There's a higher self thinking in you. You're the observer of your thoughts, but a lot of times we allow the thoughts to be associated with memory, and those memories are usually bad. Not all the time, but usually bad. And they end up eliciting a response in the brain that releases chemicals that causes the nervous system to get a familiar feeling, which is going to control how you feel about yourself. And when you get washed over by that, when you allow them thoughts, now those feelings to become your being, then they cement you to a spot that you don't want to be in. We are the awareness, exactly. We are the awareness, Magnus. That's our Manus. We are the awareness. But so many of it, it's easy to say. You know, it's easy for me to sit here and say that to you. But it's not easy to do. That's the problem. It's not easy to do. It takes courage. But courage is accepting the fear that you feel and going towards it anyway. And we've all got our own fears. You can't judge yourself for those fears. These experiences you've had in life They've brought you to this place. They've allowed you to get to this place. That they were a survival mechanism. So you should thank them. And instead we berate ourselves because we're not good enough, because compared to other people's lives on social media, we're not good enough. But we never sit down and think to ourselves, well, are the lies we watch on social media true? Because we all project and we all portray an image that we want the world to see of us, a more diluted version of self, one that can give us solace and comfort, because it's easier to present this lie than it is to accept the truth. That's why social media was invented. The narrative they tell us is it's about connection, but it's not. It's about feeding us dopamine. It's about getting us hooked. It's about doom scrolling. Oh my God, what? Wow. Buzzard just took off in front of me. That was class looking. But yeah, we live our lives on here because we're not happy with who we are. I think next year is going to see a change. I feel it. You can feel the change. You can feel this desire within so many to connect again. I started a whittling class. I've got a guy, friend. He comes here an awful. He comes on here an awful lot, James. And he started doing whittling with me, and I've become absolutely addicted to it. It's so good for trauma responses and people who are stuck in their own head, because it just gives you that focus. And over the weeks, we've been just meeting up on a Tuesday night in my gym, 8 o'clock, and we've been whittling away. Then someone else came, and now we've got like 6 or 7 guys coming. And he only charges 20 quid, and he brings the wood, he brings the knives, he brings his knowledge and his experience, and he teaches you everything. It's fantastic, but the whittling is an excuse just to connect. And the whittling, when it's fun, and it does here, listen, whittling something very simple, like a comfort bird or a rabbit or a bear or whatever it is you're whittling. At the end of it, you feel proud. You feel like you've achieved something, and it brings you back to that childhood experience. You know, when you drew a picture you were proud of and you couldn't wait to show your mummy and daddy, so you run home and showed them, and your mummy and daddy were praising you. It literally brings you back to that moment where you're sitting there looking at something that you have achieved, you're learning something, and you're giving yourself tangible proof that you can achieve more. That's all you need. You just need to build these wee moments that you're recognising that you're learning, that you're better, you're improving. It doesn't need to be massive. Social media makes us feel that way as well. Social media makes us believe that everything we do must be grandeur and, seen by the world and witnessed by everyone, but it's not true. What really makes you happy, what brings you closer to yourself and closer to others, is just that small community gathering. Those 5 or 6 people that witness the same experience, and they're in the same energy as you, going through the same experience, can understand, they can really resonate with what you're feeling. That's what makes you feel like a belonging, and it's so easy to do, so easy to achieve, but we don't see it. Good morning. We don't allow ourselves to just get enveloped in the simplicity of enjoying the things that we did as our ancestors did around the campfires and communication. We live in a world, I talked about the other day, disease of despair. We live in a society now that the modern day living, diseases of despair are the pandemic that we really feel, that we're really experiencing. Next killing me today. Better behaved.
So cute,
She's a wee dote, so she is.
It's the markings,
Isn't it?
beautiful
Makes,
markings.
as we were saying, like if she was black, people would be scared of her because of her breed, people would be backing away, but because of her markings, people just come to her naturally. I had a black dog, I had a black pit, and he was just the most friendly thing ever, but bright yellow eyes, he looked like Cujo out or something like that, people would run away from him.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
See you later.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, I lost my train of thought there. I was talking about, the whittling, the simplicity, and, the disease of despair. You've got anxiety, depression, loneliness, isolation. These are diseases, dis-ease, the body's in disharmony. You know, the body's not at rest. We're vibrating at a frequency that's not helping us heal. And the sound therapy, it's doing wonders for my soul. Just being able to sit with the gongs and the bowls and just enjoy that vibration running through me, and for no other reason than just I'm enjoying it. And you bring others into it, and you see this, the realizations they get when they've spent 20 minutes just closing their eyes, allowing me to play the bowls for them or the gongs for them, and they come out afterwards and their eyes are just like, whoa, their heads are completely changed. You can feel it within them. They feel it. It's instant. No, it's not going to last forever, but it's a start. It gives you that ability to just realize that you do have the power to change your vibrational frequency. And if you can do that, you can change how you feel about yourself. And the more you do that, it's organic, but you just see your thoughts slowly but surely morphing into a more positive mindset, because you're centering yourself, you're feeling more connected to self. Too many of us are relying on other people for our happiness, whether it be in relationships, I was guilty of that, or the validation from Facebook. We're all guilty of that. It stems back from approval from mummy and daddy. We needed approval from mummy and daddy as children, and if we didn't get it, we dug in deeper for it, and we sought it more, and that reliance on others to make us feel better about ourselves, coupled with the social media, coupled with the bombardment of a certain narrative, that as well as removal from self, removal from source, like this denial that we are more than what we are. It's leading to us feeling isolated, alone, which leads to depression. And who benefits from depression? Well, those trying to control us in the big pharma companies. They can pump us full of medication that they benefit from, they make money from, but all it does is stop us from feeling. And that's not what we need. We need to feel. Feel, deal and heal. You know, you feel the pain, you deal with those emotions, and then you heal from it. And that requires community. And that's why so many of us are struggling, because we've been so isolated, so alone, so afraid of speaking up for so long, that it's alien to us to actually open up and express how we feel truly. The authentic self. I hate that word, authenticity. It's been hijacked and it's now word porn. But there is this, think about it. We find it so easy to present a version of ourselves that we believe is socially accepted at the expense of who we are. That's insane. That's crazy. Morning. Absolutely insane when you think about it. That so many of us are willing to just live a life that's a lie, and we can feel it. It resides within us. We know it through interactions. Every interaction we have, every argument we have with someone we love, our husbands, our wives, our parents, our children, our friends, work colleagues, all these people, we're creating them in our lives to hold up a mirror to show us that we're not being the authentic version of ourselves. And we're so determined to make ourselves, the round version of ourselves, fit into square holes, just so we can feel like we belong, instead of truly embracing who it is we want to be and who it is we are. Fuck the world. Fuck everyone else. The only one you should be living for truly is yourself. Because when you can do that, you can present a version of you that is you, and that is going to attract the people that's meant to be around you. The people that are around us now are around us because of who we present ourselves to be. And we fear losing these people because they've become comfortable. But they're not truly our tribe. And in order to do that, you've got to go into the depths, you've got to go to the darkness. See this spiritual world, the love and light brigade? I fucking hate it. It's a lie. It's just bullshit. There can be no love and light without the darkness. You need to go into the shadows. You need to expose who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the fear within ourselves that's the problem. Because we have allowed ourselves, the true version of ourselves, to lay dormant for so long that we're totally disconnected from who he is, or she. But it's by shining the light on that version of yourself that you allow him to be seen, and you start exposing them. And when you do that, fear, panic, overwhelm is accompanied by it. And that's where the shadow is, that's where the darkness lies, that's where you've got to go though. But what you soon find is, in those depths of despair, in the wallowing and the pain, in the crying and the overwhelm, you shed your skin. It's like a snake. Funny enough, I am a snake, and next year's my year in the Chinese calendar. And I feel that next year's the year I'm being reborn again. Like I have done the work. I have went so deep into the depths of my soul and exposed all the shit that's been holding me down. And it's hard. Like, I'm talking from wisdom here. I'm talking from experience. This is not just verbal diarrhea that I'm regurgitating from some fucking life coach. This is me talking from my own experience over the last God knows how many years. I look back at who I was, even when I owned Fight Academy Ireland. Had a lot of money coming in, a lot of fucking prestige, UFC fucking coach, all these accolades that thought meant something to me, but actually were just holding me in a place I didn't want to be. Because I was not being who I was, or who I meant to be. I was being the version of myself that I believed would get me liked and get me appreciated. But it was only by the wrong people. And I was wondering why my energy was so drained, and why I was so negative, and why I was so depressed, and why I was always thinking of, can't say that word here because I'll get blocked again. But the journey we're on, the path most of us are on, isn't the path for us. It's the path society have told us. It's the path that our parents told us was the right path for us. You know, I go back to parents' validations thing. Our parents told you need a 9-to-5 job. You know who they were, the environment they grew up in, the life they lived. A 9-to-5 job is what you needed, but we're not in that life anymore. That earth has changed. We've moved on. We're here for more than that. And you're only going to find your true path by sitting with yourself and being the observer of the thoughts. Like, that's why I come here every day. Like, look at this today. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. This is happiness for me. It's contentment. See, I think that's the other thing, you know, like even though I'm saying the word happiness, you know, happiness is a fleeting emotion. It's like sadness. But contentment, being content with who you are, being content with the life you have, that's important. When you're content with everything, then happiness follows. But again, the message about being happy, it's a false narrative, because you can't be happy all the time. You have to feel sadness, you have to feel fear, you have to feel pain in order to appreciate the happiness, the good times, the lightness, the love, the laughter. Life's a roller coaster, like it really is. It's like it's ups and downs, it's undulating. But we believe that it's all about positivity and negative people should be cast out. People aren't negative, people are just living in fear. people are just who we are. That's why we attract them, whether it be on social media or in person, TV. We're attracting these people. It's not. There's no such thing as coincidence. It's our energy. It's our magnetic frequency. The electrical thoughts attract the magnetic emotions, the feelings. So if you change your thoughts, you'll change your emotions. And if you change your emotions, you change your thoughts. And it's secular. And that creates work. But you have to do the work for that. It's just not going to happen by itself. It's not something that you can just buy a program for and all of a sudden you're happy again. It doesn't work like that. You've got to do the work. Do you know, it's no coincidence. There's no coincidence these are on here listening to me waffling on right now. Something in your life attracted you to this conversation because something in your life isn't vibrating the way you want it. And you want to change. So fucking change. Take action. If you've done the gym week after week, month after month, every year, same process, hasn't worked out, maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to do something different. Maybe it's trying to do breath work, meditation, yoga, Pilates, the sound therapies. Just get out and walk with your friends. Just meet up and find a way to allow yourself to feel freer and just to appreciate the small parts of life that we don't give gratitude for. I wake up every morning, as soon as the alarm goes off, I set a snooze for 5 minutes, and I don't go back to sleep. I just lie down and I give thanks for everything that I've had, everything I've got, everything I've achieved. And it helps. It massively helps. It doesn't help straight away, but it does help. And do you know what? I've got another wee crazy thing I do. So I carve a stone, right? This stone, I carved this, right? I put intentions into it. It means a lot to me. It's personal, but it means an awful lot to me. But I carry it everywhere, and see, when I put my hand on it, it reminds me, because I put so much intention into this stone and what it means to me, that when I hold it, it brings my focus towards gratitude, love, which, best advice for a young man age 21, love yourself now. Go through the pain when you've got the strength, because the older you get, the wiser you get, and the more wisdom you seek and all. But when you're 21, you've got the strength of youth by your side, and you'll be able to cope with anything. It's a lot better. And find someone who's older than you. Find a wise soul who's going to be able to see the program you're playing out from a different perspective. That's you see, in the tribal communities, that's what the elders are for. Do you know, I think it's the Lakota tribe. When someone feels sad, they get together as a collective and they sing and they chant and they do rituals and they pray together. And they thank whoever it is who's going through that pain, because if he's going through pain or she's going through pain, it means there's pain in their community. And through his experience or her experience, they're exposing the pains and traumas and problems within the community. So their pains are giving the entire tribe a chance to heal. And that's something that we have lost connection with. We don't have a tribe anymore. Even the nuclear family is under attack. That's a plan, that's an agenda. Because the more isolated and alone we feel, the easier we are to control. But if you're 21, look in the mirror and just tell yourself you're fucking beautiful. Because trust me, you are. You're such a good looking person, that man or woman, trust me, you are. I look back at my photographs at 21 and I thought I was ugly. I was a good looking kid. I just didn't believe I was. I was carrying a lot of energy, a lot of negativity, a lot of darkness in my soul. I thought I was the ugliest looking kid around. And I wish I could go back to myself and just give him a hug. I really do. I wish I could just go back and give a hug Kids have zero respect these days, half the issue. Do you know something? You just project the blame onto a group of kids. Because kids are only responsible.
Hey,
How you doing?
it's alright.
That's alright, yeah. Let them sniff away, they're dogs. That's how they've got to communicate. We say hello, they sniff each other.
She thinks she knows every dog she sees.
They all do. They'll all remember each other through their smell.
Beautiful colour.
Thank you.
Hey, come on. Carly. Carly. Come on.
But yeah,
Play now. Come on. Let's go.
you know,
Hi, Carly.
dog doesn't want to move. That dog doesn't want to move at all. Just laying there.
Carly.
Dogs, be like a dog. Be like a dog and just live in the moment. Look at this. Look at this thing just laying here going, nah, not moving. Don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Oh. But yeah, you're 21 years old, you've fucking so much untapped potential. And you just need that wake-up call, that hug. I would love to go back to the 21-year-old me. I often have that conversation myself. If I was, 14 for me it was, if I go back to being the 14-year-old self, you know, what would I tell myself? And I actually think back. I was badly bullied. Oh, Jesus. My growing up, my youth was hell. And that's where I learned to wear this mask and create these programs every day, every single day. The rope was the easy way out for me, and thought about it every day without fail. Every single day there was, yeah, you're 100% right, Manus, yep. My granddad used to say that, he said it's a DOG, not a GOD. But I think back to the way I thought. I've thought on this a lot, meditated on this a lot. The 14-year-old me, if he looked at me now, he would not believe he could achieve what I've achieved. Everything that I wanted to become, I've become. And do you know, it still didn't bring me happiness. That's the craziness. I wanted to be a good fighter. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be well known. I wanted to be popular. I wanted all the things. Wanted to be a martial artist, and literally built myself up the size I always wanted to be. Didn't bring me happiness. Founded one of the most successful MMA gyms in this country. Didn't bring me happiness. But the younger me believed that those things, the traumatized masculine things, would get me the respect that I craved, because I didn't respect myself. And that's the key. You've got to learn to respect yourself. You've got to learn to love yourself. You've got to learn to realise that you're doing your best. And that's all you can be asked to do. You can't ask anything of yourself except to do your best. And as long as you can look in the mirror, whether you succeed or fail in the endeavour, if you can look in the mirror and say, I did my best, then you'd be proud of it. And if it's a failure, if it results in not the outcome you wanted, there's a lesson to be found. But there's also like wisdom and experience in that. So you didn't fail, as long as you can digest it. And that's why the 21-year-old, that's why they need mentors. Because at 21 you're living a lie. At 21 you're pretending. And go back to, what someone said there, the kids have zero respect these days, Tom. Whose fault's that? Do you blame a 2-year-old for hitting another child? No, just does what 2-year-olds do. The environment a child grows up in, the people that surround those children, they determine who that child becomes. Until we're 7 years old, we exist in theta brainwave where everything's real. We accept everything as is. So if the adults aren't bringing those kids up well, then I can't really blame the kids. My children's generation, my generation, like guys my age, they've got a lot older kids than me, 21, 22, 23-year-olds. We're responsible for how they act. Because as a collective, we allow that to happen. We didn't want our kids to feel left out, so we give them all iPads, social media fucking access at 10, 11, 12 years old. Wonder why there's fucking paedophiles all over Snapchat and Instagram, because they know parents are so weak-minded that we give in to our children's desires. Children are parenting the parents, that's the problem. So it's not the kids. Kids are just doing what kids do, getting what they can get away with. We were never happy with just one biscuit. We always wanted 2, 3, 4 biscuits, and would find a way to getting it. Do you know, some parents allowed their kids to stay up 11, 12, 1 o'clock at night. My parents were pretty strict that way. Hated them at the time, but I accept them now for what they did and why they did it. They were laying down foundations that allowed me to become who I am. It was hard as well now, they fucked up, but they did their best. Just like I fucked up. Actually, I was talking to my 11-year-old, and I said to her yesterday, I told her I'm so proud of who she's become. She's such an empathetic child. She's a young woman now, she's 11, she's become a young lady.